I feel like all crafty people, whether they knit or sew or crochet or do paper crafts or something else, all have those projects that have been in the back of their mind for so long, or in a folder on their computer or saved on Pinterest, that they so badly want to do but just keep putting off. And today I'm finally going to get one of them done. Hi, welcome to today's video. Today I'm making a 1930s magic bed jacket. That is quite a mouthful, but this is a project that I have had saved on Pinterest for a very long time, and I've decided today is the day. It seems suspiciously simple. It's essentially a circle with a slit that you wear over your shoulders as a bit of cape. I first saw this project on Pinterest when this pin was on my suggested page. I kind of immediately fell in love with it. The idea of something to wear while you're sitting up in bed is just so lovely, and I knew I wanted to make myself one, something a little bit nicer than my usual flannel shirt. As you can see, there is a very basic pattern. I love vintage patterns and the way they're kind of described. It's all very simple. It's got the simple measurements, and then the text underneath gives you a little bit more explanation and the actual method. The pattern is very particular in what fabrics it suggests, suggesting flat crepe, crepe satin, or for warmth, wool crepe or a thin flannel in specific colors: peach, tea rose, flesh pink, or pale pink. Now, I am not going to be using the fabric it wants me to, because I knew immediately what I wanted this to be. I am using fabric that has been in my stash for a while and I really like the look of, so I'm not going to be using that. Let me show you the fabric I've pulled out and we can talk about it. I'm going to make my bed jacket lined, but also kind of reversible. I want to be able to wear it whichever way I feel like wearing on the day. The first fabric is kind of what was suggested. It is a kind of satin. It's very much polyester. It feels a bit like a tent, but it's really pretty, and that's kind of what I'm going for. It's pretty and it's in like a pinky color like suggested, so half of it will be the nice and delicate look that the pattern suggests. The other side, however, is going to be this beautiful blue velvet. I got this over a year ago. I had a project in mind for it, for a specific event, and it just didn't happen in time. And so I'm going to use it for the other side of this jacket. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a horrible sensory experience, having velvet on one side and a very plasticky satin on the other, but I've kind of committed to the idea, so I'm doing it. I think the colors pair fairly well. I would have loved to pair this velvet with something kind of gold. I'm obsessed with the dark blue and gold look. And I do have a really lovely satin in gold, but I have a different project I want to use that for, so for now we're going pink and blue. I don't know exactly how I'm going to put it together because I am lining it and the pattern doesn't actually tell you how to do that, but I think it's pretty simple. I feel like this is one of those projects where you can just kind of make it up as you go. My one concern is that I am bigger than the average woman in the 1930s, so I don't know how it's going to fit me, but I think I'm just gonna make it anyway and hope for the best. I definitely have enough of the velvet, but the pink fabric, I will be cutting it short. So I'm going to go lay everything out and cut it, and hopefully it's gonna work. Everything's fine, manifest it. This is gonna go great. I'm remembering why I haven't used these fabrics yet. Shiny fabric and I don't get along. Also, this piece is cut so crookedly, and I'm really not sure if it's gonna fit. I'm gonna have to do a lot of measuring. This project, it's something I want to own. I'm choosing two of the worst fabrics, I think, for me, sensory-wise, to make it out of, but I'm gonna do it anyway, I swear. It's gonna get done. No, I don't own paperweights. Who needs paperweights when you've got just 20 million books, right? So it wants to be 40 inches wide. Oh no. Oh, we've only got 39. Is 39 okay? Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll just be a little shorter. It's completely fine. I don't care. Yes, we've got enough that way. So it might be a little bit oblong, but It's fine. I think because the fabric issues are with this one, I'm gonna cut this first and then use it as a template for the other piece. Okay, I did the smart thing and I'm going to be marking on the wrong side of the fabric, like you're meant to, but had the biggest brain mega mind moment when I realized I was looking at the wrong end. So I do actually have 40 inches on the fold, and by the time it curves to make a circle, the edges where it's not long enough won't matter. Everything is fine, the world is good, thank you. But the instructions read, fold a square of the material through the crosswise center, as shown in the diagram above, and place it on your cutting table, the floor of my bedroom. With the fold next to you, mark the center of the fold, a point 1 inch to the left of it, and another point 3 inches above it. Let's see if my brain can do this. Okay, so 20 inches is halfway. A point 1 inch to the left, so that's 19 inches. And another point 3 inches above it, so I'm assuming that means into the fabric? Above it. Okay, wait. It being the mark 1 inch to the left. Above it is the first mark we made. Okay, 3 inches. I'm assuming this is the neck hole. Connect these points with a curved line for the back neckline and draw a straight line from the 3-inch point to the end of the fold for the opening. So do we mean diagonally? Where's the picture? Yes, we do mean diagonally. Okay, so this has to curve to here. That's good enough if you ask me. I need something straight. I have a ruler somewhere, don't I? I don't know how to do this. I need a longer ruler. I don't have a longer ruler. I nearly bought a meter ruler like 2 days ago. I was at the craft store and just got wildly excited over this meter ruler because it reminded me of primary school. If I had it now, everything would be good, but I don't. I guess I'll just kind of make it up. Yeah, that seems about right. You know what? It'll do. To shape the outside edges, tie a 20-inch string near the point of a pencil. Hold the end at the center point of the fold and describe a half circle as shown. Okay, so we're just making a circle. When I make circle skirts, I usually do this by like marking the length across the whole thing because I don't trust myself to do the pencil thing properly. Do I have string? No. Okay, we're doing it my way. Okay, I'm assuming this is 20 inches. Yes. I need to mark 20 inches all the way around. Okay. Okay, now I need to cut it out and I'm scared. I don't want to do it, but I want to do it. You know what I mean? I always get so nervous cutting into fabric, especially stuff that has been in my stash for so long. But I did promise myself I would try to get through some of my fabric, so we're doing it. Okay. I did the first cut and then decided to think about whether or not this includes seam allowance, so no matter what, I don't have enough fabric for seam allowances, so it's all just going to be a little bit smaller. Whoops. Okay, the lining is cut out. I'm going to put it over me to see if it's at all a size that's going to fit. Oh yeah. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I love it. Okay, there's something I've been putting off, and it's the kind of tie, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do or if there'd be enough fabric. The instructions say, from the corner at the upper left, cut a 4-inch bias strip from the double thickness for the ties. But I don't know if I want that to be lined in the way that the rest of it's going to be, or if I want to do it out of one fabric. So I'm going to think on that while I cut out the velvet and then work it out. I am just a little bit ashamed of how long it's taken me to just like brain to work out what I'm doing here. I wasn't going to cut it on the fold to make sure everything lines up, but I don't have enough floor space for that, so we're doing it on the fold and hoping for the best. Hello. So I'm going to cut it. I'm not going to bother like chalking it or anything. I'm just going to cut it and hope for the best. I think it should be fine. Look, it doesn't have to be perfect because it is something to wear in bed. I did also notice a water stain on the satin that I did not notice before, so whoops. But again, it's just going to be worn to bed and in my house. This is not something I'm going to wear out, so everything is fine. Let's cut it out.
The exciting thing about sewing is that no matter how many times you've done something, using this pattern as just the top to a dress is that.
Okay, I have both pieces cut out. I couldn't get the satin to lie flat, so I did cut the velvet a bit bigger in case. I know that probably wouldn't even fix the problem, but I did it anyway. God, I hate cutting velvet. There are little bits everywhere. This, I realize, is unwashable, unironable. It's gonna be a bit of a nightmare, but I mean, come on. Isn't this just the best? I need to work out the tie. I honestly think I might make it without the tie, see how it sits, and potentially add like a ribbon or even just like a little press button thing, because I quite like it without. And I think that if I want the blue out, I don't want a pink tie sticking out and vice versa. So I think I'll just do it right sides together, starting with the kind of neck opening, just to make sure that's all crisp. And then I'll probably do the bottom half also right sides together and just leave a gap and hand finish it or something. But oh, it's so lovely. I'm a bit worried that lining it will just maybe make it a bit too stiff, but I'm gonna do it. And yeah, I love this. This is so cute. Anyway, okay. I should probably do a test first. Good enough for me. Let's give this a go. Yikes. That might be the worst thing I've ever done. That was bad. I am just now realizing that the velvet is, in fact, stretchy. It's fine. I just spent an embarrassing amount of time trying to get the seam like flat. I wish I could iron this thing, but it's velvet, and even though it's kind of like a crushed velvet, I can't crush it. The main problem is the neck curve. I don't know if you can see how like pinched it is. I always find a way to mess up necklines of things, but I've got it mostly fine. I was right about it sitting a bit weird once it was lined. From the velvet side, velvet out, it looks quite nice. I do like how that looks. But it just doesn't sit as nicely as I wanted it to with the satin side out. I mean, it's not horrible. I can't decide how I feel about it. I do actually quite like it with the pink poking out. I'm really glad that I did line it. It is just causing me some problems. So now I have to finish the edge. I don't know whether I should do it like right sides together and then turn it out, just because it was a nightmare to even flatten just this top edge with it the right way around. So I think I might try and leave the clips in and turn it inside out and try and finish it. Not being able to press something as I'm going is making it so much harder. I don't think I ever realized how much pressing helped until I couldn't do it anymore. Okay, I'm gonna work this out and hopefully finish it up. I really do love it. I'm still not sure where I stand on the tie situation. I kind of like just having it as almost a cape. In my big cape that I made, I had a hook and eye, so that's an option, but like where would I even put it? Because like I quite like having the whole thing out. I might not add a tie because I really like how it looks. It is, I'm aware, basically just a circle of fabric, but it's a nice circle of fabric. So yeah, it's a really easy project. I will say this is a pretty good beginner project if you use something like cotton that you can iron. Don't be like me. I decided to stop being silly and I took my jumper off so I could see it properly on my body. That was a mistake I made in one of my first sewing videos. I made a skirt and I was trying it on over a dress and turtleneck and shorts. So it ended up obviously being too big. Anyway, I've tried it on. I think it looks a lot better, obviously without that added bulk. It's still not my favorite thing. I don't love the color on me, but I think this is what the original garment is like going for. That kind of like soft look. It's just not right for me. The velvet, however, is like my favorite thing ever. See, look how good it looks. I love the contrast, not only between colors, but fabrics. These are both polyester, but it feels like indulgent, like satin and velvet at any point in history other than now were like, you know, quite nice fabrics that were, you know, quite nice, more rare's not really the word, but you know, less common fabrics that you weren't wearing day to day, or that most people weren't wearing day to day. So I really love this thing. I feel so cool. I'm looking at it and thinking it would be really nice with a collar, but I'm just not going to do that to myself right now. So I'm going to go finish the hem and I will see you when we're done. So what I was worried would happen has happened, and it's kind of ballooned out a bit. I could not align the lining and outer layer. I couldn't do it. The hem is horribly wonky and I just don't know what to do right now. Let me show you properly. It's like puffed up in a really weird way. I feel like if I could iron it, it would be fine. I'd be able to fix it, but I don't know quite what to do right now. Okay, I think it's done. I haven't looked at it properly. I tried to press the seams. I have a little craft iron. And I thought, okay, it doesn't have steam, I can hold it very lightly, and I did it on the carpet so it wasn't a hard surface under it. It didn't ruin the velvet, it didn't press it very well. I refused to put the temperature up very much or press, so it was kind of a big waste of time. But I have just hand sewn the opening closed very badly. That is genuinely the worst hand sewing I have done maybe ever. From basically the first time I tried hand sewing, I was pretty decent at like keeping my stitches consistent. This is horrible, but I am justifying it in my head with the fact that it's the back of the garment. I can't see it, therefore it doesn't exist. And also, the stitching doesn't really need to hold up to much. It's not a spot that's gonna have any strain, really, and it's not gonna go through the wash, so it should be fine. But I'm gonna go fiddle with it a bit in the mirror, and I will see you back for the reveal. So there we are, my magic bed jacket. I do love it, as much as I kind of complained and am not super happy about the way it sits. I do love it. I love the blue velvet. It's so pretty, especially with a bit of the satin poking out. I love how it looks with the fronts folded down. I think I might try and give it a bit more of a press at some point, but I want to enjoy it for a little while before I potentially ruin it. If I were to make one again, and I feel like I might, I would definitely try to use a fabric that you can press. Most of my problems came from the fact that I couldn't press it in the way that I wanted to. I think I would also make a pattern rather than marking my measurements directly onto the fabric. I think being able to cut two pieces that are the exact same size would be really helpful. As I was playing with it, I realized that it would be really lovely as a kind of more wrapped kind of capelet, and it would be so easy with just like maybe two little press studs or hooks, and it could just sit like that. I would wear that on a night out. Honestly, I potentially would wear this to a formal event, like as a little jacket. I find that I never take coats with me to formal events if I'm wearing a long dress, because I don't have any that are short, but this actually could do the job. I think it's wonderful. It's definitely going to keep the top of me warm. I was a little worried that it wouldn't do much for keeping me warm because the pattern did suggest wool, but this is polyester, so it traps heat. It is plastic. It's great. And while that is often a nightmare in the summer, for something that you intend on using to keep warm, it works quite well. I do feel a little bit like a wizard in the best way possible. I'm genuinely so happy right now. It is a little bit plain when you look at it just like this. I think that's why I like having almost lapels. I think it ended up being a little too puffy when reversed, so I doubt I'll wear it with the pink showing. But technically I could if I wanted to, and it is still quite cute, but something I didn't consider earlier is that the velvet clings to your clothes, so it makes it sit even weirder, but I mean, it is cute. I am naturally drawn to darker colours though, so this is my absolute favourite thing, and I just really love the pink showing as it moves. I'm so pleased. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. I'd love to start making more sewing videos, so let me know if you enjoy this kind of thing. I really enjoy making it. This is like the most fun I've had in a little while. Have you made something like this? Do you have a Pinterest board full of vintage patterns that you'd love to try? Because I know I definitely have so many things saved. But that's all from me today. I upload twice a week, so you can subscribe to see my future videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.